In the ever confusing world of economics, it is said that the weak local currency is a air quotes win for exports. They say that when the Ugandan shilling or the Egyptian pound or the Malagasy Ariari, when any of those currencies drop against that dollar, our products become cheaper for the rest of the world to buy.
If the yuan stayed weak against the dollar, Chinese exports would look cheaper on the global market.
My $1 was essentially 70 Indian dollars. That's what it was my whole life. I remember thinking, it was like, well, why is that? What's going on there? It's not just a little exchange rate. There's some reason why they have less money and I have more money because of where I was born. And I started realizing early on, I'm just like, oh, it's just because of what it's backed up by, which is the Indian government versus the US government.
Tool. First, cheaper exports for other countries. This is the main reason countries do currency devaluation. For example, let's say $1 equals 7 Chinese yuan. A Chinese factory makes a toy and sells it for 7 yuan. When they export it to the United States, the buyer pays $1 because $1 equals 7 yuan.
The theory goes, if you have a weak currency, it means your exports are going to do really, really well. Your manufacturing sector should be recovering, and yet we haven't seen that over the past couple of years. Why is that in South Africa?
This is supposed to, in quotes, bring money in. From a Financial Times article that I saw in 2015, it said, and I quote, the IMF paper that it was, I think, searching for its article, found that 10% real effective depreciation of a currency raised real net exports, i.e. exports minus imports, by an average of 1.5% of gross domestic product, although there was substantial variation between countries. About half of this effect stemmed from a rise in exports, and the other half a fall on imports. But there's always a dark side to things, and to this win there's a dark side. When the global market is hungry, they're starving, someone is right there, they want to buy fresh pineapples from Uganda or from Cameroon. They are so hungry, they will pay anything. And the currency is very weak. The best food on your farm doesn't stay in your community. It grows wings and flies to where the hard currency is. That is the export paradox, or as you can call it, the export agro paradox. Not the Leontief's paradox that happened in America. This is the African export agro paradox. The more successful our exports become, the harder it is for our locals to afford a high quality dinner. While the Leontief's classic version was about factor intensities, the capital versus the labor. Sometimes the capital increases or the labor increases. So it was that, not how harder it is to afford high quality products in your own country.